Thank you very much. You can hold your applause, but I'd just like to introduce those at the head table not speaking. Mayor Dan, City of Middletown, Mayor Enzo Fienza from the town of Cromwell, Jay Polk, who's our first vice chairman of the chamber, just took over that job in June, a couple weeks ago. Paul Schlickman, the athletic director at Central Connecticut State University, Ann Evans from the Department of Commerce, and Dave Benedict, the athletic director at the University of Connecticut. Let's have a round of applause for all of them. Also, there's over to your right, there's a TV set up there. We have a promotion for tourism during the summer. It's called Where's Sunny? And there is Sunny standing up, Bob Bell. All right, check that out before you leave today. There's great prizes, sites to pick out in Middlesex County over the next year. A great opportunity, and we really appreciate everything that Bob Bell is doing with his committee. Also, immediately afterwards today, thanks to the Workforce Alliance by Bill Villano and his great team, and also the Department of Labor, we have a couple of events coming up. In the Jersey Room right opposite here is from 9:15 on. We will have a meet and greet with employers and employees, people that were looking for jobs. We have a dozen employers that will be there to meet some future employees, so it's a great opportunity for that. And then 11 o'clock to 2 o'clock today, we have our 20th annual job fair. 51 companies are here hiring, and they are the names of like Pratt & Whitney, Stanley Black & Decker, General Dynamics, all major corporations. In some places, they are hiring up to 1,000 employees over the next year. This is a great opportunity. It shows what's happening in Connecticut now. We have a lot of manufacturing, we have engineering companies, so that's from 11 to 2 o'clock, 51 companies, along with the Department of Labor. There will be resume writers there to help out. There will be people there to help you out with interviews. Everything we got in place thanks to the Department of Labor and, of course, our great partnership with the Workforce Alliance with Bill Villano's whole team, which I'm very active with, and we're very fortunate to have a great working relationship with. So, again, 11 to 2, when you're leaving here, if you know of anybody looking for a job, especially those individuals that are graduating from college right now, or some that might be graduating after the first semester. We want our students in Connecticut to stay here, work here, raise their families here. Connecticut's a great state. This tournament is a great example of what this state has to offer. So again, make a phone call, people can get here, and they will be hiring on the spot. It gives me a great honor now to introduce at his first meeting our chairman this year, Rick Morin.
Great. Thank you, Larry. As Larry said, this is my first meeting as chair, and I can't think of a better way to start it out than the Travelers Championship and having Russell Knox here to give us his greeting today. It's not even been 2 weeks. We had a great business. And then last week we had the car cruise on Maine, which was, as always. And I'd just like to, we're not going to mention them by name, but I'd like to thank the state and local officials that are here. You all have the blue sheets that are on your table. Please take a moment to thank those individuals when you see them this morning. And I'd like to welcome our new members, New England Mechanical from New London. If they're here this morning, if they could stand up to be recognized. Thank you. And I'm going to read off some awards and accomplishments. If those individuals are here, if they could just please rise as I go through them, and then we'll have a round of applause for you at the end. We have Brother Brian Davis from Xavier High School. Congratulations on his retirement. from Xavier. He was a wonderful leader for the past 8 years and truly dedicated to Xavier. And then our next is Peter Galansky from Mercy High School, golf coach, securing his 300th career goal win. Please, this historic feat was attained in a victory over Laurelton Hall on May 24th. He began his career at Mercy in 1994. And last but not least, we have the local prevention committee presented a seminar, post-traumatic stress disorder, and I'd just like to recognize those individuals that made that possible. We have Dr. Ross McLean from VA Healthcare System, Joanna Crowell from Middlesex Hospital, and Lance Williams, 75th Ranger Regiment and Wesleyan University student, and David Rohn, Commander, American Legion Post 206. All those people I read, if you could please stand up to be recognized. Great. Thank you for all you do, and we'll move on to our next segment. Thank you.
I just like, Lance, will you stand up for a second, please? This is a great story. Lance, as was mentioned, was in the 75th Ranger Regiment, served active duty for 4.5 years in war zones, an individual that saw a lot and came back to help us to talk about post-traumatic stress disorder that a lot of our veterans are facing today, leaving the areas of Afghanistan and Iraq and other areas also. He did an unbelievable job with his talk along with the others. But here's an individual that served our country, wasn't ready for college immediately after high school. He gave a great presentation on that. And now is a student at Wesleyan University. And I think he deserves a round of applause just for his service to our great country and what he's doing now. Thank you for joining us here, Lance, and best of luck at Wesleyan over the next couple of years. And the chamber's right down the road, and you got David Rohn right next to you, so you got the support from veterans right away. So that's great. You got Phil Cacciola here and many, many others. I was out there yesterday at the opening ceremonies, and it was wonderful. And Nathan Grube again got up and did a great job. And Nathan's with us every month. Here. As you know, the Travelers Golf Championship is the biggest event that we run in the state of Connecticut for athletics, but more importantly, for all of the other things that they do, raising money for charities, being out in the community, and it's a great honor to introduce him again. He's here all the time with us. He's a great supporter. Nathan Grube.
I have to say something about Larry real quick. There's a little note at my table, and you know it's Larry's handwriting. If you ever speak up here, Larry always gives you handwritten notes, you know, thank you for coming and for the week. And so I knew it was his handwriting, and it was a joke. How many days till next year? 363, okay? June 18th through 24th, 2018. We look forward to seeing you at the Travelers Championship. And I know that was you. You were trying to bust me. Good morning. We're in the middle of a special week. It's the Travelers Championship. It's here. And I wanted to say something. It is going to be a really, really unique week because when you look at just advance support, advance sales, I mean, we're up over 30% over last year, and that's because of you people in this room. This event is whatever you want it to be. And if you want it to be the biggest thing in the state, you are making it that. And we are advertising in an enormous way to the entire world what our community does with professional sports. And I saw David cringe when Larry said it's the biggest thing in the state, but it was professional. So he didn't say amateur, so he said professional. But it is the big commercial, and you have embraced it, and it is going to be something special this week. From everything that we're doing with Military Appreciation. Lance, thank you for your service. But the Military Appreciation platform we have all week, and the concerts, and Women's Day, I mean, you have made this something that is significant, and it's sending a really cool message. When we were talking to the media yesterday, they're asking us all these things that are happening during the week. How do you do this? And where do you do this? And it's all about the community and what you do to make this possible. So thank you. It's going to be an incredible week. Weather's perfect after last night. We got that through, and it's going to be a good time. So thank you very much. And Russell, thank you for being here. Appreciate it.
Okay, I'll be moving through a couple of things. First of all, the Chamber runs a unique program with the Department of Labor also, and I'd just like to congratulate the people that are here from our Cook Chef program. We run a program in which 10 restaurants every year puts employees, those that are dishwashers and other areas, that they have an opportunity to move up the line, and we give them an intensive 10-week program at Vinyl Tech, thanks to Tom Serra really getting us in there when he was the director of Vinyl Tech. And this has been a great program. We've put hundreds, really, both in work and moving up the ladder in their jobs. So I just want to thank Department of Labor again for that. Also, we have with us here today a couple of state championship golf teams. I was talking to Andy a week or so ago, and I mentioned that, it's kind of unique that here in Middlesex County in the state championship for golf for the state of Connecticut for high schools, what happens is that 2 of the 4 state champion teams are from this region. And I really feel that has a lot to do with the Travelers Golf Tournament being here, because of the importance of the travelers, the amount of young people that are playing golf, and that's kind of contrary to some other areas, and we're very, very fortunate to have with us here today 2 of our state championship teams. You can hold your applause. I'll start with Xavier. Xavier High School won the 2017 CIAC Division I state champion. They finished with a team score of 301. And they had a 6-stroke lead over Greenwich. The tournament was held at Fairview Farm Golf Course in Harwinton. And we congratulate head coach Mike Coase, assistant coach Mike Cunningham, and all of the players. Please stand and be recognized. Xavier. And athletic director Tony Jascott. Stand up with him. Also, Portland High School. They were here last year. They won their 2nd straight CIAC Division IV state champions. They finished with a team total of 323 and a 9-stroke lead over Immaculate. The tournament was held at Crestwood Golf Course in Watertown. We congratulate head coach Joe Sanaveri and all of the players. Please stand up and be recognized. And Chris Sarah's there with him, the AD also. Keep it going, Andy. If we get, maybe next year we'll get 3 out of 4, huh? So it'll be that's a great thing for our high schools in our region. I also just want to mention two other things quickly. I want to thank Brother Brian Davis for all he's done at Xavier High School. As you know, I had a long career there in coaching, and Brother Brian was there during the end time of my there. And his dedication to Xavier has been nothing short of outstanding. They had a nice reception last Sunday for him. And as I was talking to Tony Jascott there, when you get people like Brother Brian that's so dedicated to the young people, and his whole life is around that, it's an example for everyone in education. So, brother, thank you for your dedication. And also, I'm very, very happy you're still going to be around here, and we'll be calling upon you maybe to volunteer for the chamber since you're retired. So thank you very much. And also, let's have a round of applause for him. And Pete Golansky got 300 wins as the coach at Mercy High School. More importantly to me, Pete Golansky was my assistant football coach at Xavier, along with Tommy Tokars, who's here also. during those great years in the 70s where we had some pretty good football teams. And Pete, I want to congratulate you on this great honor, but also publicly thank you for getting a lot of wins for the Falcons in football when I was there. So he was our defensive coordinator. He did a great job for me. So congratulations. And you're still in coaching. That's terrific. Congratulations. Well, as we move forward, now for recognition of our speaker, I just want to thank Jennifer Wizlacki, who's with us here today. Jennifer, I want to thank you also for the great job that you do for travelers. I know you did get a promotion, but more importantly, Jennifer had worked in the Chamber in Tourism a few years ago and did a wonderful job there. She's a resident of Middlesex County and believes in Middlesex County, and I want to thank you for everything that you've done, helping Andy and the team move forward. So let's have she's Chester, and let's have a round of applause for a Chester resident that's doing so much. In introducing Andy Bessette, there was a great article in the Harvard Business Journal, a Lifetime Achievement Award. You're not that old yet, okay? I know. I'm old, you're not, so don't worry about that. The headline on this, Love of Sports Drives Bessette's Corporate Civic Success. I think when you look at Andy Bessette, and I've gotten to know him very, very well. More importantly for me, he serves on the Board of Trustees of the University of Connecticut, and he has become to me a mentor, an individual that I turn to for advice on numerous occasions. And he's the same way at Travelers, because when you talk to people that work at Travelers, they all say the same thing about Andy Bessette. He is always there for everyone. He listens. He advises. Just a wonderful person. And I think that his success in business and to make sure that Travelers, he was the driving force for them to basically come to stay here in Cromwell with the tournament. They stepped up to the plate. And Travelers is an unbelievable corporate citizen, phenomenal corporate citizen in the state of Connecticut. I love what they said in the paper today. We like Connecticut. We like our workforce in Connecticut, and we plan on staying in Connecticut. And they've got 7,000 employees. And a lot of that is because of this man, Andy Bessette, a wonderful corporate leader, an outstanding man, and it's someone that all of us in this room can admire as an individual that gives back every day of the year to make sure that this state of ours continues to move forward. Andy Bessette.
After that introduction, I have to tell a funny thing. Nathan, I looked under my chair, under my plate, under my table, and I couldn't find a thank you note from Larry. But I feel okay. Larry's good. No, in all seriousness, Larry sends me notes all the time, and Larry's one of the most gracious people, excellent leader. He's more my mentor than I do anything to mentor him. And he's a great advisor and does a lot of great things. So, Larry, thank you for your leadership and what you do. On behalf of Alan Schnitzer, our CEO, and the rest of our 30,000-plus employees at Travelers, I just want to thank you for being here this morning. You know, every year we make the Travelers Championship bigger and better than it was the year before. And growing up in athletics and Russell and I were just talking about, how you train sometimes, and when you're training, you never you never do as well as you do when you're competing. And you kind of like, Russell said it best, he said, your body just kind of knows when it's time to go, right? Well, it's time to go now, Nathan, and we're going this week, and you prepare year-round and try to make this thing better. If you heard me say this before, the status quo is one of the worst things in life, because if you accept the status quo for 1 second, you only go backwards. You don't go forwards. You have to always try to get better. You have to experiment. Not everything works every time you try it, but you keep trying to get better. You keep trying to improve. And tomorrow when I wake up, I'll try to get better than I was today. And that's just the way I've lived my whole life in athletics and business and elsewhere. So this week, we're really excited about a lot of pieces of what's going on with the Travelers Championship. With all the special events we have planned, and really one of the best player fields we've ever had here since 1952. It promises to be really an unforgettable week. We've been a sponsor of this event since it started in 1952. That's a long time ago. That's even before I was born. Huh. So that always makes me feel good. Sometimes, right? But, it was an Insurance City Open, and I met a gentleman yesterday who was actually a caddy in 1952 at the first Insurance City Open. And I thought that was so cool. It was Katie Wade, our insurance commissioner's father. And I thought, now that is a cool thing. So I went over and talked to him. I said, boy, caddying was a lot different than it is today. I mean, the caddies were just there. They were in a holding pen. Well, I guess that's a way to say it. But the players would just be assigned a caddy, right? You didn't have a caddy who worked with you year-round. And I just thought that was really, really cool. And over the years, we've evolved to what we are today, and our tournament gives 100% of the net proceeds to charity. I mean, it's all about giving back to the community and charitable organizations. The tournament's generated nearly $13 million since 2007 when we took it over, to over 600 nonprofits throughout the region. And we're really proud of that at Travelers, because that's who we are as a company. We give over $20 million a year to different efforts around the country. And we're proud of that. That's who we are. We have over 100,000 hours of employee volunteerism. So it's not just money, it's people too. It's people giving back. And last year in 2016 was a very special year, and we raised over $2.8 million for different organizations, which included $1.3 million, if any of you went to the Friday night dinner for the Bruce Edwards Foundation for ALS Research, where we honored Jay Fishman. And Tom Watson was there with us, and John Feinstein. It was a terrific evening. It was one that, if you were there, you'll never forget. I'll never forget it for sure. This year, the Hole in the Wall Gang Camp is back as our primary beneficiary, which is really exciting. And I think you've heard me talk about it before. In 1988, Paul Newman, the famous Paul Newman, founded that camp. And he just, one thing I remember him saying in the early years of the Travelers Championship, he was with us, he said, I just wanted to find a place where these kids who were very, very sick could go out and raise a little hell and not get in trouble, obviously. So we've had a long-standing relationship with camp. We love camp. We're really, really pleased to be able to support their inspiring work and what they do. We continue to have a relationship, and it's a very important relationship with the Hospital for Special Care. And I know many of you know what that is and what they do there. And it's just great, great work. We also continue on with a relationship with the Bruce Edwards Foundation. Bruce was Tom Watson's caddy who died of ALS, and Bruce was a very special guy, and Tom Watson and John Feinstein founded the Bruce Edwards Foundation, and this year we're going to continue to provide the suite on Corporate Row, where the ALS patients will come out all week and go up and enjoy a day out. And last year I spent a lot of time up there speaking with the patients, and they were just so excited that somebody invited them to come out and be a part of our day. And there was food and drink, and I think the best part was camaraderie. And talking to each other, and every day Jay Fishman was up there, and some days we'd see him and he would be tired, not look tired, he was tired. And we'd say, you shouldn't do it. Nope, Jay went right over there and spent time with all the patients up on Corporate Row. So if you're on Corporate Row, you're close by and you go by, it's the first tent on Corporate Row. Stop by and say hi, and thank them for coming out and being part of our tournament. We're also going to continue to support the Bruce Edwards Foundation. They have established, along with us, a Jazz Fishman Fund at the Bruce Edwards Foundation. I know that's a lot to remember, but if you're so inclined, feel free to support that. We're going to continue to support that as well. So the golf tournament, and I know Nathan and I are really excited about this week, with the competition, the players, to have Russell back as our defending champion. It's great, and Russell is one of the best guys on tour. But we have Jordan Spieth and Jason Day and Rory McIlroy, Patrick Reed, Bubba Watson, Justin Thomas, Zach Johnson, Jim Furyk, Russell Knox. I mean, the names go on, but it's real. Last year, two things happened that were really special. Was Jim Furyk shot his 58 on Sunday morning, and Sunday afternoon, Russell won the Travelers Championship with a 12-foot putt. And we were all standing there going, oh my God. I'm sure he was as cool as could be. And you sunk that putt, Russell, and it was just terrific. And to have you as our champion means the world to us. It's very, very important. On the celebrity side, if you were listening to the radio this morning, I said, Nathan, last night we were putting the final pairings together for the Celebrity Pro-Am. And I said, man, if people don't like these, you did it. And if they love it, I'll do it. I did it. No, we do everything together, seriously. And some of the people we have in this group is Dane DeHaan. So his movie comes out in July 21st, and it's called Valerian, the City of a Thousand Planets. Got it? Did I get it right? Good. So Dane will be out with us playing golf, and Chris Jackson, who was George Washington in the first Hamilton, with the fantastic cast that they had in that. So he's going to be out with us. He's going to be great. Nice guy. I talked to him last week, and he said to me, Andy, I love golf so much. I'm so passionate about golf. I wish all those years I had practiced singing and dancing for Broadway, that I had done that in golf. And I said, no, I don't. I said, you've done a lot. You're great on Broadway. So no, just stick to your job and have golf for fun. But Chris Berman will be with us. Ray Allen will be with us. Tim Wakefield will be with us. Dan Orlovsky is a new addition this year, which is really exciting. Gino is with us. He doesn't need any introduction. Chris Daly's with us. Jim Calhoun, Randy Etzel, Mike Kavanaugh. So we've got a great lineup of celebrities. They go off tomorrow at 12:20 in 5 consecutive threesomes. And of course, we've got our concerts this year. On Thursday night, it's Drake White and the Big Fire. It's country western. And on Saturday night, it's Gin Blossoms. And then Women's Day, I'll be done in a second. There's a lot going on. Tori Birch is with us on Women's Day. Terrific. And she's with us. She obviously has a design company with clothing and her clothing line. But Tori Birch is an outstanding woman who leads CEO of a huge organization and is a leader in the business world. And then our celebrity chef is Andrew Zimmern from the Travel Channel with Bizarre Foods and Delicious Destinations or something. And wherever he eats those fried spiders, I kind of cringe. But I used to live in Scotland, and I have this in common with Russell. I used to eat, actually like haggis. Anybody know what haggis is? Okay, Google it. I'm not going to tell you because you may not like it, but I loved haggis. But anyways, so he does weird stuff, and I like some weird stuff, so we get along great. I think with that, I'll introduce Russell. And actually, it's a good lead-in, actually, talking about haggis and Russell. No offense, I know you don't eat haggis. Do you eat haggis? Oh, of course. Do you? Oh, okay. Oh, God, I really love you. This is great. No place in Connecticut that I know of makes haggis, but I want to take a minute to introduce Russell, because I've gotten to know Russell a lot over the last year, and he really is a terrific young man. And when you sit down and talk with him, he's humble, but he's a world-class athlete that has a tremendous skill and is a great competitor. Originally from Scotland, Russell played golf at Jacksonville University and turned pro in 2007. While competing on the Web.com tour in 2013, I thought this was really cool. He became a member of the 59 Club when he shot 12 under in the Albertsons Boise Open. So he has gone low, so to speak, right, at 59. His first tour victory came earlier last season at the World Golf Championships HSBC Champions Tournament. And really, he is one of the most exciting young players on the PGA Tour, and we're really, really thrilled to have him as our champion. It's really been an honor to get to know him over the last year, and I look forward to continuing on to the future, too. So join me in welcoming Russell Knox, the winner of the 2016 Travelers Championship.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, last year was an unbelievable year for me. I mean, I started off winning my first tournament in China. Had to fly all the way to Shanghai to record my first victory. But then coming here and winning my second tournament was a dream come true. 2012 was the first year I played the Travelers Championship, and I remember I didn't play so well. I ended up missing the cut, only playing the first 2 days. But I remember thinking to myself that I loved this tournament. I loved the golf course. I loved the way the tournament was run, and I had a really good, sneaky feeling that one day I was going to win this tournament. And a couple years passed. I played. I had to withdraw one year. I was sick. I had one decent finish. I think I may have missed another cut. I got to play with John Daly one year. That was kind of cool. And then came last year. It was the week after the PGA Championship last year, a little bit later on in the year, and I'd showed signs of good form there. And I came to this week, and everything just kind of clicked. My game felt good. I was very relaxed, and it all just kind of came down to that last putt on the last hole. I mean, of all the high school teams here, I mean, all the kids that play golf, they always dream about having one putt on the last hole to win a tournament. And here I was, I kind of butchered the hole. I hit a bad drive and hit in the bunker and hit a so-so bunker shot to 12 feet. And I just remember standing over the putt thinking, how many times as a kid have you stood over a putt on the practice green or playing with my dad or whatnot, saying, okay, this to win. Fair enough, most of the time you say this to win the Masters, not the Travelers Championship. But this to win the Travelers Championship. And I mean, fortunately for me, the putt went in the hole, and a couple of minutes later, the walking scorer in our group hands me my hat. And I thought to myself, why does he have my hat? And then I watched the replays a million times, and I made the putt and I threw my hat 20 feet to the left, and I don't even remember doing it. I was so in the zone, I guess, or so happy to have made it. But no, I mean, as Nathan and Andy both touched on, I mean, this tournament has improved significantly even since I've been coming in 2012 onwards. Everything's improved. I mean, a world-class practice facility has been added. The golf courses went through some nice changes. I think almost everybody on tour agrees that the back nine of this tournament is one of the most exciting 9 holes on the PGA Tour. I mean, it goes very quickly. The course offers a lot of risk and reward holes. Anything can happen, and I mean, the 15th hole, the drivable par 4, is probably one of the best holes on the PGA Tour. So players love coming here. I mean, player dining's got much better, and I mean, everything about the tournament is terrific, and I'm just really proud and honored to be the champion from last year. And I mean, the field this year is incredible. I mean, a lot of the big dogs are here, and I can't wait to kick their butt and try and be the champion this year. So. Thank you. But no, thank you to everybody. I mean, Andy and Nathan and everybody in this room for contributing to an amazing tournament that the Travelers Championship is. And I look forward to hopefully you can come out and root us all on and root for me just a little bit harder. And once again, thanks very much for being here. And hopefully see you next year. Yes. Thank you. If anyone would like to ask a good or ridiculous question, fire away. Yeah.
Well, some of you young guys can have a question. Anybody have a question out there? Yeah.
How young were you when you started playing golf?
It's a good question. I have a terrible memory, so I don't really remember that well. But I would say, I played all sports growing up. Mostly soccer, growing up in Scotland. But I played golf when I was 8, 10 years old, and I probably started taking it more serious when I was 14, 15, 16, kind of in that area. But I was still playing other sports at the time. I definitely was nowhere near a phenom junior player. I really enjoyed playing all sports, and I think ultimately that helped my coordination and success in golf. It was just because I became pretty much like a rounded athlete rather than just focusing in on golf. So I encourage all kids to get out and play every type of sport, and I think ultimately that helps you as a golfer later on. That's never going to happen. No, he sometimes you just got to play for a slice, and that's how he's going to do it.
How many hours a day do you practice or train?
If you ask that question to the whole PGA Tour, you're going to get a massive variety in answers. You've got someone maybe like Vijay Singh who practices all the time and has become very famous for working out and hitting balls. I'm probably more on the other end. I don't really enjoy practicing that much. I love competing. I love to get out there and play in the tournaments. I love that feeling when I have a scorecard in my hand and it's game on. Practicing, if my wife was here, she would say that I was the most lazy person in the world. Of course, to get where I've come, I've put in time. I practice. If I'm at home for an off week, I'll probably take 3 or 4 days off, and then Thursday, Friday, I'll probably start practicing. But only, a couple hours a day, I'll practice. Maybe an hour of putting, an hour of hitting balls, and then as the weekend comes, I'll go out onto the course, my home course, and probably play 9 holes a day or 18. And gym-wise, the couch is more important to me than the gym, so I'll probably do 10 hours on the couch, maybe 30 minutes at the gym. So it's all important, but you have to love it, and practicing is I go for quality, not quantity, and I think that's a big lesson that junior golfers can learn, that being on the range for 5 hours is really not helping you. If you can get out there and put in good kind of hour of practice on the range, and you learn how to play golf on the golf course. Golf is such a weird game in the fact that you practice where you don't play. And every other sport, in basketball, you'd practice on the court. Baseball, you on in the field. So, golf is the only game where you don't actually practice where you actually compete. So I encourage all kids and everybody in here. Warm up. The range is there for warming up. You practice on the golf course, and that's where you learn how to hit shots and deal with certain situations. So I'm a big believer on get on the course, not on the range. Yeah.
Russell, how stressful is it on your family and players' families traveling all the time and then away on weekends? And if you have kids growing up and they're in sports and you want to be participating in that, how do you balance that? How stressful is it on your wife and family?
Yeah, I've been with my wife now for 10 years. We've been married 3 years. She loved me 3 years ago, and now she hates me. So, yeah. So it's a stressful life. I don't like to use that word very often, but it's difficult for families. We don't have kids. I see families traveling with their kids in the airports and during the weeks, and it looks extremely difficult. But that's the same as a lot of you guys in the room. And ladies, traveling for any job can be tough, and but it's great too. there's many challenges in doing this for a living, but when you hole a 12-foot putt to win the Travelers Championship, everything makes good. So I try and be a very positive person, so I try and just look at the good parts of things. So, I mean, yeah, it's difficult, it can be stressful playing golf and traveling and whatnot, but it's pretty cool to get to travel the world and play a game that pays you well. So it's I'm pretty lucky. Yes.
Speaking of difficult and stressful, last week at Erin Hills was challenging to you and some of the higher rated players in the country. How the difference in courses from week to week has to put a lot of stress on the golfers when you're coming into a town. What are we, 1,000 yards shorter than Erin Hills here at the Travelers?
Yeah, but I mean, I think, well, Brooks Koepka won. He was minus 16. I think, yeah, I think last year here I was maybe 12 or 13 under once. So the course might be 1,000 yards longer in Erin Hills, but it doesn't necessarily make it any easier or harder. So, yeah. No, it was an excellent tournament. I did not play very well. I didn't score well. I played fine, so I only played 2 days. But it was a unique course. The fairways were very wide, and the course was extremely long, and it offered a different challenge, one is which, I mean, we don't see courses like that too often on the PGA Tour, so it was pretty cool. I mean, even though I didn't play well, and the course probably wasn't set up perfect for my style of game, it still was a huge success, and I mean, Brooks Koepka deserves to be called the champion. He played incredible.
Russell, you mentioned you first came here in 2012. How did you first come to the Travelers?
Yeah, I mean, 2012 was my rookie year on the PGA Tour, and when you're a rookie on the PGA Tour, you're desperate to play in any tournament you can possibly get in. And I'd played very poorly my first year. I'd struggled playing, just adjusting to playing with big names in tournaments and big courses, and the fame of being a PGA Tour player. And so I came to the Travelers, I mean, just desperate to get into an amazing tournament and try and play well. And my game had just started to kind of turn around, and I think I missed the cut by maybe a shot or two. And it was one of those tournaments where you just, like Erin Hills last week. I'm glad there's not a tournament there every year, because I don't think I could beat Brooks Koepka on that course. I mean, there's some courses that just suit people's games. Erin Hills wasn't one. This course, TBC River Highlands, is suit perfectly for my game. So when I came here in 2012, I was happy. I was comfortable in a lot of the holes. Like, I liked the shape of the holes. The length of the course is not overwhelming. I made some putts on the greens. So every time I come back here, I have all these good memories of playing the last 4 or 5, 6 years. So, and then obviously last year winning, it's obviously going to be a tournament I come back to forever now.
See you next year.
Absolutely, yeah. So thank you very much. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, hopefully everyone will be out in Cromwell at the TPC, cheering our Russell on and the rest of the pros, and I know it'll be a great week. Also, before leaving, I just want to recognize David Polk and Ted May and the First Tee people that are with us here today. That's a great organization that does so much for young people throughout the state of Connecticut. And a big thanks to the town of Cromwell for hosting this. Our police department, fire department, all the other departments, Mayor Enzo Fienza, who is the leader of the town, and of course, Tony Salvatore, former police chief, but now the town manager, that way back had recognized the importance of this tournament to the economics of our region. So, town of Cromwell does a great job with this every year. And let's hope the sun always shines in Middlesex County, and especially in Cromwell this weekend. See you out in Cromwell. Have a great day.